Well, hello ladies and gentlemen. Today, welcome to Onward VRML Season 14 Week 4. Today we have a very exciting matchup with Axis Knight versus Phantoms. So I'm very excited to see how this match is going to go. Today I'm going to join with my co-caster, Delamiro, or as I call him, Delamiro. So what's your thoughts on this match coming up, Delamiro then? What's your ideas? Who do you think is going to win this game? Alright then. Never mind. Okay, regardless. I guess he's just quickly fixing something, but no worries about that. Unfortunately, but anyway. Oh man, here he is. He's come back.
Yeah, really sorry about that. Hello. I think it's going to be a close game myself. We can see both teams are quite closely ranked, and in terms of MMR, they are both on the same MMR this season. However, if we have a look at last season, I think that Phantoms were just ahead of Access Denied.
So of course. So for this evening, we do have some interesting band picks for both sides. But going over to Axis Knight, bans for the current moment. The bans for this evening for Axis Knight are going to be Cargo and Abandoned. Of course, being two of my least favorite maps in this game, so understandable to why they have chosen this. But if we look over to Phantom's past record for Abandoned, they played it, I believe, let me check, 7 times last time. So that is 7 times they played it, so they do have a bit of experience in that. But I say they do like a bit of Abandoned, but Cargo, you know, it kind of just shows that Axis and I don't want to take this close. Want it to be a little bit larger, a little bit more medium, so that is understandable. What's your thoughts on this so far?
I think it's pretty fair bans looking at both teams' records. You know, Cargo clearly maybe a weakness of both teams even here, but you know, they not want to take it to Cargo at all. But did they say we banned Subway as well?
Oh, I haven't gone over the Phantoms bans yet, but no, it's Cargo and Abandoned facts tonight. But we're talking about that, going straight to Phantoms bans for this evening. They are going to be Subway and Snow Peak. My favourite maps, how could they? But yes.
Yeah, Access Denied played Subway 13 times last season and played it 6 times. They actually played Phantoms on this map last time and they won it. So yeah, last season we had Access Denied versus Phantoms. Access Denied did take the win 12-6, I believe.
12-8, I believe that is.
Ah.
So yes, that match was casted on the July 14th. So yeah, it was a Access Denied win, going 12-8. So say that must have been a very intense match for anybody who did catch that match. You can all recall if that match was intense or not, but I can imagine stress was high and they tried their absolute best. But anyway, going over to the first map, and the first map for this evening is going to be Bazaar. So a very exciting first map pick, being one of the medium to longer range maps depending on how you're playing it. Probably one of the maps which I personally, I either love it or I hate it, but this is always a great map.
Yeah, it is one of those maps really, looking at the team stats last season as well. Both teams have played it a fair few times, and both teams are also getting a good win record on it too, so it's going to be a close game, I think. First round, probably even going to be a 4-3, but only time will tell.
Of course, we'll have to see, but of course this is Axis Knight's first pick as they are going to be home for this evening, so clearly they must have been practicing this map before this match ahead of us, so they must have some form of ideas of strategies and how they're going to play this to make sure to outbeat Phantoms yet again. But as said, the OBJ for the first OBJ is going to be at the tank, so the Eastern Tank OBJ, probably one of the most easiest or hardest OBJs, you know. I've had times where you get the most easiest of caps on this OBJ, and occasionally you have moments where like you're sitting there and you just can't push up to it. People are just pre-firing so well from all the corners and from the blue room and the courtyard. You know, you have to really get good at your smokes. Sightlines are a massive part of this OBJ, and to clear them is a crucial part of trying to secure it.
Yeah, this objective is going to require a lot of smokes for the attacking team Access Denied, but we are going to be going into the first round. Access Denied spawning in the northwest.
Okay, drum bags. Make sure you're recording, by the way.
But they have spawned in the northwest. So they do have the further spawn, but this can offer them the ability to make a decision if they kind of want to push down into center street. Of course, they are making sure to get themselves ready, are recording, as new the VRML rules state. So they are now off and they're getting themselves excited. Checking over to Phantoms and they're now making their ideas on where they want to defend. do appear to be having quite an open OBJ defense here. We do have a lot of players going down to the southern side, trying to watch that street cross, which will probably be the main idea. And of course, you have to watch kayak. It is all going to be very important for them.
Yeah, last season, Access Denied played against Phantoms with a bot who has joined the second top EU team, Imperial, now. So they are going to be at quite a deficit without him, but they can still do it without him.
Of course, there's still a high chance. You know, I do believe that these players do have the skill for it. So they have positioned themselves in a way to which they can cover quite a lot of angles. We do have someone in the far south, but does appear to be a middle base, turn of defense, making sure no one does hold anything. So we do appear to have Mighty Mike and Travis starting to make their way around in the north. At the sandbags currently, might get spotted here from Nuclear, who's watching a very good angle through the rocks, or through the brick wall. Trying to spot my jet, which is peeking around the corner slightly. If he does peek out a little bit too much, might get picked off here.
Yeah, 2 lasers trained right onto Mighty Mike's position. Achilles down into the far blue room, and Nuclear on that broken wall. Smoke's out. Yeah, that's the great decision to make.
Do appear to have currently Rosie. Oh, shots are being fired towards Mighty Mike, but we do have Pilot Viper and Rosie crossing the street. But pre-fires are going towards Mighty Mike as the smokes have come out on the street. They have not put through that smoke as they are scared of the pre-fire. Shots are being had onto Rosie from Pablo, sorry.
Looks like Pilot Viper and Rossi taking a bit of a slower, flanky approach here. They might be meeting with Greco very soon.
So Pablo and of course Rosie did have a little bit of an engagement just then. Shots were fired towards each other, but no one was hit. So now it's up to Pablo to try to decide where he wants to stand. He did hear
camera.
Rosie.
There's about to be a...
Oh, Pilot Viper is so close to being obliterated from Gecko. Gecko is unable to shoot, I think. I'm not exactly sure. They're looking at each other on the trade. Oh, and that trade.
Mighty Mike catches Achilles in that far blue room now. But it will meet Nuclear very soon also.
Still need to fix that little bit of a technical issue we have going on the bottom, but we're not worry about it. So that was a nice little trade there. Not exactly sure to why Gecko didn't shoot. Maybe possibly gun glitching out or clipping through the wall, but we do not know. Pablo is jiggling around this, I guess, fridge, trying to spot if Rosie will peek out here.
Yeah, maybe he couldn't fire. Maybe he just needs to go to Specsavers.
Of course. Anyway, AD's now starting to cross. Down goes Mighty Mike from Nuclear. So that is a very nice pick. It's now a 2v3. Up to Rosie and of course, the double Rosies. To try to secure this win for Access Denied in the first round.
Yeah, we've seen Nuclear's spot here has worked really well. Just being able to head peek through that broken wall.
Could well and truly peek ground and get Rosie here. You know, he has access to take both of them out instantly. Only if he was aware of the 2 players standing right in the open. Shots from Rosie Jr. Have a little bit of an engagement here. Junior does make it inside. Call outs from Pablo. Oh, Nuclear is peeking out. Does barely avoid Rosie though, unfortunately. Rosie Jr. is trying to go for a flank. But Pablo is expecting it.
Rosie Jr. retreating back around the front.
He is going quietly. You know, there is a chance, as far as it sounds skeptical, you know, if he was quiet, he could try to go for a cap. I have high hopes for this play. In theory, the only person stopping the cap right now is Nuclear, and if AD gets to the tank quietly, you know, that could be a quick silent cap.
Yeah, it looks like Tipo Jora over here is completely off the objective, and he's not watching out the front. Shots fired also from Rosie Jr.
Let's say it does appear that AD is trying to do something here. Does pre-fire. It's standing next to the tank. It's trying to go for that cap. The tablet is out. Nuclear needs to move up here. The cap's about to happen. They have all 3 times they want to, and that is going to be cap for Access Denied.
Very good cap there. You were right there with that little sneaky cap. Tipo Jora off the objective, and Rosie Jr. keeping the other defender occupied down in the southeast courtyard. But Nuclear just couldn't hear him creep up. You know, he was only watching the front side.
So unfortunately, Nuclear had a very juicy opportunity to take out both Rosie and Rosie Jr., but did unfortunately peak. You know, a little bit of positioning may have been a little bit wiser, as a position which were being presented by Phantoms was a little bit questionable over how many players won on the OBJ, but of course, you know, mistakes do happen, and it's the best chance to learn for the next future matches, of course. Anyway, going over to it, it is now Axis Knight's turn to defend. Phantoms on the attack, 2-0, so Axis Knight do have the point lead so far. Again, that first round cap, so that is very exciting for them. Maybe we might get that curse again, Miro, when each team got a cap on the first round. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that very well.
The almost a free, almost happened on 3 maps as well, which was remarkable to say at least.
I actually had a very similar thing happen in my league game versus Phantoms. We managed to cap on the last round of every map.
Huh. Well, I guess that's a result for you then, I take it. Nothing feels better than to get a super nice, isn't it 15? Is that the highest you can get? I'm trying to do basic maths, but maths fail me. Yeah, it's 15. You can get 15 total. Has there ever been a 15 total score in a match? I need to know this now. I believe there is. If there has been, please someone send me that. I'm just curious now. But anyway, enough of that thoughts coming from me. Going over to round 2, checking over to Access Denied, getting themselves ready here. Talking about the previous round cap, they are very excited about that. Let me just quickly add the prediction. I may have forgotten to do that as you do not have mod perms.
Same spawn for Phantoms. Also looking like a similar setup for Access Denied also. Chivas in similar position to Tipo, and Mighty Mike in southeast position. Rosie Jr. down by the scaffolding. Bit of a different position, but he's going to watch that cross right down to the bottom. Be a dangerous angle.
He is holding it he's in a very aggressive angle, but you know, if they do cross, you know, he has free reign to take them out. You know, we do have Gecko, Achilles, and Tipo Duro crossing that street quietly. You know, they are really in the open. Did just drop his tablet. We saw that, Rosie Jr. We saw that, but say they do have. He does have a very high possibility. If he does make sure to peek out, he's not looking out currently, but if he does peek, he can have 2 players off easily right now.
Yeah, it looks like Phantoms are going to be doing the absolute silence approach. Pablo and Nuclear on me here, both completely silent, sneaking up on Rosie Jr.
But it does appear we're going to have Aculas and Tipo, which have made the cross. Some comms coming from Nuclear, giving away the position to Rosie Jr. So the defense fetch for Axis Denied are doing is quite similar, but in a little variational way. It's a little bit more OBJ coverage. Each player has an angle to watch the objective, which is probably key.
Yeah, I think on me, Pilot Viper, he's a bit further out, kind of similar to Nuclear on a broken wall, but he's not watching the objective. Unfortunately for him, Phantom's on there. C4 comes out also from Rosie Jr., I believe.
Does not catch anyone off guard, and yes, but at the current moment we do have Pablo and Nuka, which are still in the courtyard, you know, at the wall, so they have not pushed up, but the C4 will be definitely called out. Achilles is trying to get him, and yes he does! Down goes Rosie Jr., nice little pick there, securing the first pick for his team. Gecko is looking down. I believe the eastern streets, trying to spot if anyone's at the broken wall. So he does have his teammate Tipo, and of course now Aculos now pushing up. They are making their way across. Oh, some pre-fires going out from Pablo.
3 minutes and 15 on the clock. They got plenty of time to play with, and they're in a very good position. You know, Phantoms just need to creep up on this slowly, and they're all, you know, they have that complete self-dominance, and Pilot Viper just a bit thrown off by that, I believe. Not going to be seeing anybody for most of this round.
So Pilot Viper at the current moment, as you did say, is not going to see anybody, but you know, he does have a good advantage point. If he does push back into backcourt, he can go on the box, or as I forget, the wooden pallet, and we'll have a pretty good advantage point to look down into the main street and the shops. Also make sure to watch Blue Room, so that will definitely be an advantage point if he does decide to play that. But for the current moment, I just think Access Denied are just going to wait and see how Vans will be attacking this. Nuclear and Pablo, of course, are still taking it slowly, still waiting for their team to push up, and I imagine they will be organising some major push that adds some stress onto Access Denied.
Yeah, we can see the Phantoms trio over here, going to be creeping up on Shivas, who is just slowly watching that angle down onto the objective.
Shivas has to kind of deal with 3 of these players on his own though, so he is outgunned and outnumbered, but he could do it. Out goes a grenade, a very good grenade. It could have almost got Travis if he was moved to where he was, but that does clear out that angle for them. Of course, now Travis will now be aware that they're all going to be pushing through this side, so he'll be on his alert. Definitely going to call out to his team, but there's people pushing through the south side. Pilot Viper could have an angle here to either support his team a little bit. Is coming around, is freaking out, does get shot, and does get taken out, unfortunately, from Oculus. Nice little pick.
I think maybe Rossi could be rotating around now to help Shivas potentially, if Shivas has caught that out. But oh, Shivas, you know, could be getting a really nice angle, and they don't know that he's here, but they are going to be creeping up.
Shivas could well and truly peek out right now and get 2 of them. If Shivas just peeked out, you know, that's 2 down, if not 3. They are, you know, he's playing this quite well. He's have so much discipline right now, but no! Unfortunately, taken out. Taken out. Should have used the time he had to his advantage, unfortunately, but will get taken out. Does not get a single person. AD also cleaned as well. It's now a 1v5. Mighty Mike, first of the world. Does come out and does get obliterated, and that'll be the first point going for Phantoms.
Yeah, we've seen there, that was a real good push. We can see, you know, hints of, you know, high gold diamond standard level push there. We very, very patient, slowly pushing up, given really very little audio, grenading common spots, and then managing to move up and, you know, get that win without being touched at all.
But I say that was very unfortunate for Travis. Of course, he had them dirty. If he just pushed out, I would have believed. If he pushed out, he would have had 2 of them and possibly 3. You know, he was in such a good position. He had 2 players in front of him, unaware. But if he just used that time and just went for that push, you know, that would have been easily the game changer for that round.
Yeah, that could have turned that whole round around completely.
Of course, but the OBJ has moved to the northeastern OBJ, which you can correct me with the, you know, with the correct call out for it.
Well, yep, it is the northeast courtyard objective. It's a tough one for attackers, really. It's a lot of spots to cap from, however, but there is also very, very tight defensive spots, like spots on these stairs over here, in a very strong spot. You can see out onto the Kiot and onto the center market, and then we have other spots on the insides of the buildings next to the objective, and then spots way off in the far northeast.
So there is many spots for the defenders to play, of course, and of course you do have the far east to take care of, which, you know, players do often sit there, but you might see someone rush kayak, which might be interesting to see how they're going to play this. But moving our way into round 3, checking over to Access Denied, dropping some drummies, getting themselves ready for this round. They do have the northwestern spawn, so this is rather the quicker spawn of the bunch, so they should take it to their advantage and to take advantage of the time they do have.
They got pre-fire, yeah, there it is.
Oh! Sexy pre-fire there from Pilot Viper. Takes out Pito. And just down out Pablo as well. That was an excellent pre-fire. Rosie is pushing up.
Pre-fire.
Rosie could go for the cap. I mean, I don't believe it, but he is pushed up so much. Pablo's now pushing up. Oh,
I think he's going to catch Pablo. Or
Pablo,
Achilles.
so tight. It's so tight. But Rosie could, you know, if he just killed Pablo here, you know, that could be a second cap.
He could cap right here.
Oh yeah, he got taken out. Unfortunately, Pablo does hear the tablet come out. So that was a nice little awareness, taking out the tablet. Alculus, it almost spotted Rosie Jr. just then. Rosie Jr. trying to make sure the staircase is cleared. Just take out staircase. Just tuck back in. Nice little pick there.
Rosie Jr. with the MCX Virtus silent gun. You know, built-in suppressor. Very nice gun.
So it's a very good gun, but I think personally I have too many issues of it with the recoil, and it's just, I don't know, I just can't really get it into my builds. Of course, nice play there from Mighty Mike onto Gecko. Took a few seconds to remember his name, but Mighty Mike is now pushing his way into Blue Room. Down goes Rosie Jr. Yeah, the OBJ is considerably open at the current moment, you know. If someone just rushed it and threw a good smoke down, you know, that could be a well possible cap. Out goes a frag on a flash. No, that was a frag. Just push out in the court. Yep, does get taken up from Nuclear. Living up to Chivas. The last one standing to try to win this.
Gonna be tough for Shivas. A lone man Nuclear coming around the side. I think he just spots Achilles also.
Unfortunately, Onward timing did not catch him, no. Did not catch him. It might have, but didn't get him.
I think he's seen him, yeah, he's got his laser right on that position, but not.
That is Onward timing. Ugh.
See if he has any utility to use. He does have 2 smokes on him and a drum mag. He could go in making a lot of noise and just, you know, really create a threat for these defenders, but it really depends on how he plays this. I think he's just going to be patient on Achilles. I mean, he does have 3 minutes, 25 seconds to spare.
Nuclear is kind of giving his position away, as he has been throwing flashbangs off the staircase, so that does give, of course, AD Chavez some context to where two of the players are currently. Alculus is now kind of pushing around, just making sure the left building is kind of secure. You know, if he starts moving up and spots one of them, you know, taking down one makes it 100 times more easier. Oh, just barely misses Alculus. Oh, spots him. Shots are out. Down goes Alculus from Chavez. And it's now a 1v1.
It's a 1v1, and he has smoke to use. If he does not use this, I don't think he can get it. Oh,
but no. Oh, Chavez with the... Oh, no. Nuclear with the aggressive peek. Just take him out.
Nuclear going absolutely nuclear that round. Manages to pick up, I think, like 2 or 3 of them there. He's gone 6-0 so far. Impressive KD.
He is going for it currently. You know, that is the KD of the dreams. You know, having a 6 KD is something only we can all imagine. I'd say he is definitely leading this team so far when it comes to the picks. It is always fun and always important to have that player on the team, which is just the team fragger, you know, to get those few picks down to secure the easy cap opportunity for the team. But I say he is doing his team a great favor so far.
Yeah, access denied. Really good to get that first cap off, but not managing to hold the lead, with Phantoms grabbing the defensive and an offensive round right after. But now it's their turn to attack again, which is always harder, but you can cap on attack, which will be very threatening for access denied, because it will be an instant win. For those who don't know, a cap is where they get close enough to the objective and put in a code. It's a 7-digit code, and once it's put in, you get 2 points rather than just 1.
And of course, and in the current moment, if Phantoms does get this cap, they will be game for the first map, as it is best out 4. So if Phantoms did get this cap, you know, that would secure the first round going to them. So that would be most favourable for Phantom's current situation. But Access Denied will be trying their absolute hardest to, if not, you know, stop the cap, if not just die instead of getting capped on. Losing to a cap has to be the worst feeling known to mankind. So teams will try their absolute hardest to make sure they do not die because of it. Moving ourselves back into round 4, checking over back to Gecko with Phantoms. They are getting themselves ready for this round. Learning the code, a very crucial part for the pre-game. Make sure you memorize the code so when you get to the OBJ you can put it in as quick as possible. Deputy have Nuclear and Pablo crossing the main street will be luckily to unavoid any pre-fires.
Yeah, Onward is one of those games that doesn't require any luck, but if you do want any luck, it's going to be the code. The code is completely random, and sometimes you can get the world's hardest code, or you can get a complete set of zeros if you're really lucky enough.
I remember one time during a scrim I had a code which was 8888, just full 8s. It had to be one of the easiest codes I ever witnessed. Not as legendary as the 00 code, but an 888. That has to be one of the most luckiest codes which anyone could ever imagine.
I think I might have got a 64, 64, 69, something like that in a league match once, and that was really easy, and I managed to cap that. And I'm not somebody who caps very often.
Alright then, so, anyone curious to why I wasn't speaking just for a few moments? I had to plug my headset in. I forgot to charge it yet again. Shout out to anybody who was watching the previous match I casted, which was yesterday. My headset did die during the cast as well, so since yesterday I have not charged it fully, so do forgive me.
Wireless headsets for you.
I know, but it has excellent sound quality, of course. But anyway, moving back over to it, we do have Oculus and Tipo now in the south court. Oh, nice pick there onto Nuclear from Rosie. So they're going for it currently. Down goes Rosie from Gecko.
That's a 4v4.
Say the team numbers are even. They do need to worry about Rosie Jr. as Rosie Jr. is in a powerful spot. Holding Kayak is such an important thing, you know, depending if the team's going to go for the fast rush cap across the center market, you know, it is crucial to make sure Kayak is clear, but, you know, it does appear they are going to go for an eastern attack approach, so they don't have to worry about it. Down goes Chayavs from Oculus, so very nice.
No, attackers have managed to get very close to the objective now, but it's looking very threatening in the south with Achilles, Tipo, Joro, and Gueco.
Oh,
Rosie Jr. getting offensive.
Rosie Jr. is in a very questionable position. I do not want to be in Rosie Jr.'s position right now. Rosie Jr.'s just been spotted. Shots are being had in the trade. Oh my, what a trade. Let's just quickly watch that back on the replay. What an excellent trade. I'd caught the wrong replay. Oh well. But anyway, do forgive me. Yeah, as you can see on the replay, so that was a very tight trade. You know, Rosie did get spotted, but was able just to snap onto the player just in time.
Yeah, maybe a push like that wasn't worth it, because they are now down to a 2v3. Pilot Viper, you can see rushing around the objective. Smokes out from Achilles, going to be causing even more panic. He does not know where that came from either.
Mighty Mike has to try to rotate back to his team here to get back on the OBJ. You know, it's all fine and all being in a 2v3, but the second the man on the OBJ dies, it is fear beyond belief.
I think Mighty Mike's position here is quite strong as long as Pilot Viper is, you know, completely trusted on the objective, which I think he is.
So if they were pushing through center, I would be more lenient from trying to rotate. But as this is going to be an eastern attack, you know, this will actually work out in Axis and I's favor. So Axis is now peeking up. Oh, does shoot, almost catch off Pilot Viper here. Shots are being had back towards each other. Mighty Mike could offer some assistance, but he will be sending his in position, watching Blue Room and across the street. So it's all waiting to see if Oculus will be making the cross. And once he does, you know, that is unfortunately going to be his demise. Pablo is now peeking around. Just see Mighty Mike does take him out. Leaving now to a 1v3. Oh, Pilot Viper did get shot multiple times. Is injured, but isn't dead. Will be retreating. So it is in a stressful situation to be him right now. He is down to the 1v3.
Pablo approaching from the blue room.
But and that will be Pilot Viper's last finest moments. And that'll be 3-2 for Phantoms.
Yeah, Phantoms have really been on these attacks tonight. We've seen 2 instances so far of them doing really well executed attacks. Clearly practiced this map very well, and it's not even their pick, I believe. You know, as I say,
No,
both
yeah.
teams are very equal on this map, and Phantoms looking like the stronger team on attack.
Of course, but say they are clearly showing off here. But now the OBJ, of course, has switched. So now onto round 5, and the OBJ is going to be the center kayak, or you can change it wherever the correct call out is. But yes, it is the center. Oh, Kiot. Oh, I call it kayak. You see, I mistake the call out, so at this point I just call it the same thing. And honestly, my team just accept the fact that I'm an idiot, so they don't even judge me anymore.
I mean, if you go on my cam, you can see why it's called Kiot.
Oh, is it? Oh, I see. Oh, I see now. Oh,
yeah,
well,
it's not there on the Quest version, so it's
oh, I see.
hidden for most people.
Well, as a player, as I can play on both, I should have really known this, but I must admit to you, I don't spend a lot of time looking up on the map.
Me neither.
But yes,
Yeah.
thank you for informing me, but I will probably still call it kayak because I'm an idiot, but my team will just have to live with it.
Talking about the subjective anyway, it's very capable, and Access Denied only need 1 cap to bring this to a win already. If you don't know, 4 points is the amount you need to win, and a cap would bring them to 4. Kiot is famously known for being a very capable objective, and Phantoms need to be on top of their defense game, otherwise Access Denied can sneak in through the back, and they can even cap behind this little red box.
But little thing I must say is not Kiot, it's kayak. Remember, that's the correct call out for it now. But I say, moving up, Phantom, of course, will be spawning in the back of the courtyard, and they will be getting themselves ready for the defense. It is going to be a super southeastern spawn going for Access Denied here.
Nuclear going straight for the fountain. Tipo with pre-fire gets taken out by Pilot Viper.
Oh. So that has to be bad. You know, nothing hurts more than being taken out by pre-fire in the first 10 seconds of a round. Notoriously, of course, the Suburbia pre-fires are probably the most feared ones. Being taken out, it just hurts so much because you know you have to sit there and you can't do anything to help the team.
Yeah, are we expecting a Suburbia tonight? What do you think? Or is it it's not been banned, has it?
Suburbia has not been banned, I don't think. Let me just quickly go check. Of course, the bans are Cargo, Abandoned, Snubway, and Snow Peak. So, you know, we will not be seeing any of my favorite maps, but we possibly will see a larger map for this evening. You know, there's a possible chance to see, you know, Quarantine, as it is one of their favorites. So if we do get Quarantine, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, last time that Access Denied and Phantoms were brought together back in Season 13, Access Denied won Phantoms on Suburbia 4-3, and since it's not banned, we could potentially be seeing a Suburbia, and as you mentioned, a Quarantine. I know from personal experience that Phantoms are quite good at Quarantine.
So it could be a personal rematch in terms of Suburbia, but Pablo needs to be watching his cross, needs to move his gun trail, just get Chavis, does need to worry about Rossi and Mighty Mike, which are behind him. But so if you do get a Suburbia or a Quarantine, that would be an interesting viewing, as of course Phantoms is their best map when it comes to Quarantine, but Access Denied do have the advantage on Suburbia.
If Rossi has a grenade, he can take out Pablo. He knows he's there.
Say this is the time when you need to have Norvis in your team. Norvis has a very nice grenade spot to throw it right at the palm tree, lands on top of anybody which is hiding in the back of the court, and he can do it from actually quite far away. So anybody who does not remember, Norvis is a scary grenade player. He loves his utility, to say at least.
Oh, Mike Pablo and Rossi coming very close together.
Oh, they're making their way across. Rosie just needs to come around this corner. Pablo's watching. Oh, it's so tight, and the trade.
That was always going to happen.
Trade. Oh, what a magnificent trade. Watching it back on the replay, I need to quickly fix that little error thing in the background, but oh man, as you can see, that was a very nice little trade there, looking right at each other. Wonderful.
Face to face. If Access Denied managed to pick off any of Phantoms without it being a trade, it's going to be detrimental for Phantoms
Oh,
because they
Gecko
can't
Pete.
come out.
Oh, sorry for cutting you off there, but Gecko's now moved up and always gets taken out by Mighty Mike. So it's so unpredictable, you know, just like that, players are now in positions which could be, you know, a life or death moment. So
Viper and Achilles very close together also now.
Gecko is looking down the staircase, is using the AKM with a suppressor, so not something you normally see, something which I was kind of not expecting to see tonight, but Mighty Mike does know that he's up there. So that will be his first objective, trying to make sure to take him out.
That gun is not one you see very often. It's definitely off meta, but
Yeah,
maybe
it is
he knows
very
how
off
to use
meta.
it.
You never know. You do see teams occasionally doing odd things like using the FR, not commonly known as for Moss. You know, it's just depending on how teams and what they prefer, but you know, I think Access Denied are gonna try their damn hardest trying to get this cap. Rosie is now making his way inside. You know, does need to worry about Nuclear, but you know, if he can get close to the red trap, does take out Nuclear here. Oh, he does back off though. He is not going for the cap, which I could have thought he would have.
Yeah, as I say, if any of Phantoms disappear like this without a trade, it's going to be very bad for them because they're going to be rushing around the objectives. Whereas Pilot Viper takes out Gecko.
Oh, smokes up being thrown onto the OBJ. It's up to Mighty Mike. Oh, Rosie to try to get this cap. So they're just giving them time.
Release comes onto the objective now. Oh, but he's gone upstairs. Rosie could really cap this.
Oh, it's so tight. Rosie needs to just make a decision here.
He pulls the tablet out. He's capping.
It's not in range yet. It's going to get taken out. Oh, he runs straight by him.
Oh,
No
wow.
way! No!
No way. We need a replay on that.
Checking back on the replay. That was a replay and a half. Runs straight by, but Mighty Mike is going for that cap. Cap. I just wonder who gets it in time. It gets it in time. Oh, an excellent cap for Access Denied, and that will be 4-3. You were correct, my friend. It is going to be a 4-3 score going for Access Denied.
Mighty Mike gonna get a real applause in the tent, maybe even a bit of a shout. You know, that was brilliant. Really unfortunate for Phantoms. They, you know, really strong on those defenses and attacks, but Access Denied on top of their capping game with both of their wins coming from a cap to make it 4-3, which I also predicted at the start of the game.
No, you predicted it. I mean, I you did say a 4-3, and you know, it's a 4-3 nonetheless, but you know, oh my, that was a tight round. You know, it was just mere milliseconds off of killing them. And unfortunately, that cap does go in, so that is going to be game for the first map, and that first map will be going to Access Denied. Anybody which is new to Onward VRML in the league, there's a best out of 3. Whoever wins the first 2 maps or 1 map and then loses the map and gets the 3rd map does win the match for that evening. But for the current moment, it is going to be 1-0 to Access Denied in terms of the map score, and they will be deciding currently in the tent what they're going to play for the 2nd map. Whew.
Yeah, I think the harsh reality about that map, though, is that Phantoms could have easily 4-0'd Access Denied, in my opinion. They were super strong on those, you know, standard defense and offense, particularly on the attacks, but Access Denied, as I say, good on those attacks. Suburbia, next map.
And yes, you cut me before I could even say it, but yes, the next map is going to be Suburbia. There was a little bit of a question to they didn't do the lobby reset, which is the required rules. I imagine that the mods will question about that, but it's not our place to dish out any rules or questions. But you know, it is important that teams do follow the current rules and, you know, rule sets as they are inquired. But that is not the problem for our sake, because it's not our job. But anyway, enough of that boring chat. The OBJ, oh, an exciting first OBJ. What's your thoughts on this? Delamiro on the first OBJ spot.
Red car objective, very, very dangerous. Phantoms got to attack it first. It's really, really difficult to attack, let's be honest, but you can cap from behind the car, and a lot of smokes can cause a lot of panic. You know, we're going to see probably a lot of pre-fire up lanes. It's going to be a, you know, maybe even holding a line back on my camera, you know, down that lane. We're going to be seeing probably a held line from Phantoms up there. If Access Denied can get a hold of that lane, of those lanes early enough, then they can definitely stop a Phantom's attack.
So that is to be foreseen, but of course Phantoms is, as you said previously, is going to be on the attack, Axside on the defense for the round. Of course, at the end of every map, the teams do switch sides, so that each team does have the chance to play equal amount of time on both sides for fairness. So as Phantoms will be on the left side, the top of the scoreboard, and Axside on the right. But I say this will be juicy. Of course, Red Car is it's a good OBJ. I must admit, there's some good parts, there's some good defense spots, and there's a few good attack strategies for it. As I said, we might see a aggressive smoke cap. You know, it does happen in the past. There's been a super aggressive smoke caps which do come out from lane 3, but that'll just have to be seen in the coming up round.
Yeah, I think the strong points are going to be the house porches in the center. You know, usually very commonly held spots, and maybe down in this far northeast also, you know, just a couple of positions in there holding head peaks, you know, sitting behind bushes and such. And one thing about Suburbia is that it has some defects for Quest players. You know, as you know, this game is cross-platform between PC and Quest, but having a look at some bushes like this here, they are, you can see through them on PC, like you can see on the cast, but on the Quest, they are completely solid, and you can't see anything at all. So PC players will get a severe advantage on some of these positions.
Of course, but say the meta between Quest 2 and of course, I'll say Quest, but Quest in general and the PC VR, you know, there is downsides and there is upsides for either headset. I do find personally that on the Quest 2 version of Suburbia, it is easier to spot players, as the graphics of course have been simplified to match the Quest 2's and the Quest 1's capabilities, but that does mean for the PC players, they do have some certain abilities to able, as you said previously, to see through some bushes and some little hedges, which, you know, there's always been a debate if this map should be banned or not, because, you know, essentially speaking, it's super unfair to either side, as, you know, PC players will complain that there's some spots and some little items on the ground which often are used for cover are not there on the Quest version, but, you know, it's not going to make that on the PC version they have the advantage as they can peek through most of the hedges. So, you know, it's a very debatable topic depending on how you view it.
Yeah, it's one of those maps, but it is a classic. I don't think we could ever see this map getting banned. You know, it's a brilliant map, and it's nice to see. It can be played fast, it can be played slow. It's one of those maps, just like Subway, one of my favorites all time.
Of course. I say, it's like the debate regarding Shipyard, which is one of the recent Season 14 add-ons, which is one of the custom maps, which are one of the 2 which were added. Oh, they just bailed me out with the time. And I've just done it again. Oh well. But anyway, but yes, Shipyard, of anyone which isn't aware, there is 2 different variations of it for Quest 2 and the PC version. The PC version has a train and also a boat horn, which is a massive topic of if it's fair, because, you know, on the PC version, Quest 2 players, they can't hear that, and it is very loud and does deafen you, so there is a massive debate if that's fair or not, but that is not for our conversation. But moving over to the first round, Phantoms, of course, in the defender spawn, of course, the normal spawn, and now making their way across.
Yeah, I think including some of the custom maps in the league is definitely very, you know, good. A lot of talented map makers, and, you know, you can debate whether they were made by DPI or not. You know, they're very well made by some of the best map makers around, and I think including them is essential for the game.
So it does add a little bit of variation, a bit of freshness. Nice flashbang there from Nuclear. Comes over with the pre-fire down the lane. Almost hits Rosie there. Has secured back.
Yeah, Mighty Mike and Rossi on the porches, like I mentioned, 2 strong spots. Although very predictable, a grenade or, you know, quick jiggles can sort that out.
It does appear that Access Denied is holding a square defense. you know, they do have 4 players, isolated around all 4 buildings. I got the flashbang, just hit nuclear in the face, but no aggression from Rosie. Say it is left up to Rosie Jr., which is at the lane 1. Oh, nice pit there onto Tippo from Pilot Viper, but yes, as I was saying, it's Rosie Jr., which is the lone wolf by himself down at the lane 1. Does need to kind of work here a bit hard to help his team. Could go for that massive flank, you know, if you go to that flank, you know, it can take off 3 to 4 players right here.
I'm sure that last time they played Access Denied, oh nice pick, last time that they played Access Denied on this map, Phantoms, I think they got this same objective and did a 4-man push, 5-man push up this lane 4-3 area.
Maybe that is something which Phantoms might want to consider to try to change up. It is always good to have new strategies. Gecko is now aware of Rosie Jr. is in the back and is maybe possibly going for the flank. Gecko needs to keep his eyes up. Rosie comes around the corner. Oh, Rosie has a gun down. Oh, his gun down, her gun down. No, it is. And down goes Rosie from Gecko.
Pilot Viper and Nuclear also now very close to each other.
So Rosie needs to keep his head up if he wants to make sure that Nuclear will not take him out. It just confused me having 2 Rosies. Oh, nice pitter from Pilot Viper onto Nuclear.
Rossi undoubtedly with a C4, I can imagine, you know, he is, oh no he doesn't, but usually he is that C4 specialist, and I've seen him get a few good C4 kills when he last played Phantoms, and also other teams in general, he's very good with those C4s, and yeah.
For the current moment, we do have the last 2 players for Phantoms in the playground. Gecko is now peeking rounds, very fast from Acolytes into the bushes and also the fence. Pilot Viper does come out, gets taken out. But a little bit too aggressively there and did get punished for it. Out goes some smokes. Out goes a finger flash. Yeah, a flashbang does hit Rosie. Rosie is pre-fired, was flashed. Does come around the corner. Rosie gets taken out. It's now up to Mighty Mike and Travis to try to hold this defense.
Down to a 2v2. Phantom's really good on this attack. You know, these two, Achilles and who is this? Gecko, you know, both together. Good strong push, communicating between each other. But Gecko's taken out by Shivas. Down to Achilles now, and Mighty Mike just rushes around this corner. Might meet Achilles.
And they do, but no! Mighty Mike gets taken out, leaving it to a 1v1 situation. Travis and Achilles. Last 2. Travis is unaware. Is going to get picked off here. Oh, gets shot, but isn't downed.
Achilles just getting a nice bit of pre-fire. I think it was just a bit lucky. And,
unfortunately, he ran out of bullets. He ran out of bullets. He had to reload. He had 1 bullet in the chamber. Shot Travis in the leg. Kind of a harsh thing to do. He's trying to rotate now back to lane 3 at the playground. Travis is watching this angle tightly, though. He's pre-firing it, though, so we have no idea. It does come in the corner and does take out Travis. What a pre-fire.
Spectacular push from Phantom.
What a pre-fire.
Really well done. Achilles and Gecko both clutching that up. Gecko did die, unfortunately, but Achilles coming out on top. I think they were actually down to a 4 or 5v2 at one point.
Oh, and do forgive me, I may have forgotten to add that Suburbia was our actual next map. I am very smart, but sorry about that for anyone who was wondering. But yes, that is going to be 1 point going to Phantoms. I had actually added 2. Okay, we love it. But yes, so that was a very, very well done and very performed, well play. That last little replay, as you did just witness, that pre-fire peak just luckily hit Travis in the head. If Travis perhaps pre-fired with him coming around the corner, you know, that could have been a different decider, but a very nice and a very, you know, I guess you could say a very tight ending, as no one could have known who was going to win that.
Yeah, at first it definitely looked like Access Denied were going to come out. You know, they were really, really good. And then Phantom's pushing was absolutely exceptional. It was, you know, brilliant push, getting those picks that they needed, and eventually closing it.
Of course. So that was a very well done decision there, and a very close match, of course. But say, soon I imagine we'll be going into the next round, so we'll have to see what will Access Denied be doing on their attack. Of course, I'll be very excited to see how they will be playing it.
Yeah, same objective. One thing I was going to talk about before is, you know, one big skill in Onward is about learning how other teams play, and playing teams in the past is really big advantage. And casts like this are how you improve as teams. You know, both teams are in that silver to gold region, and they are going to be the ones that need to watch these type of casts. You know, they can gain tips on, you know, where they can improve and what they could do better and stuff like that. This is how most players, you know, need to improve. It's a large skill in Onward to watch back your plays and improve upon them.
Of course, let's say it is very important to anybody which is starting out into season 14 as a new team, or just wanted to get a little bit better, learn a few tips and tricks. Of course, watching casts are a great way. Maybe probably not from unprofessional us, but of course watching a few casts to see how the higher teams do play, of course. But you need to kind of learn that all teams, they once the higher up they get, they have this formulation of like the communication and trust, and they just learn to play off each other. Once you can play off each other efficiently, that is when a team goes far. I say, you know, strategies can only get you so far, but once the team can truly get to work with each other, that is when the team starts to swell in terms of skill.
Yeah, knowing the Access Denied lot as well, being an ex-player of Access Denied, you know, we were very tight together and very close, and you know, the roster hasn't really changed since I left, so all players going to be knowing each other very well. Mike and Shivas, both, you know, both Swedish, can communicate in their own language. You know, that really brings people close together, and it's really important as a team to gel together. Otherwise, you're not gonna, you know, you're gonna be shouting at each other, and when things go wrong, you're not gonna be happy with each other. So,
Of course,
you know, being a team, being not just a team, but even a family, a lot of teams like to pride themselves as being.
So teams, in especially in VRML, as I've seen in the past, you know, teams which are really committed become a bit of a family. You know, it's important to have that level of trust in once, you know, in each other. You know, I have friends which, you know, I have a personal friend who I play on all the time with, which is actually on my team, and you know, me and him have this form of like bonding, because, you know, we played Onward for so many hours, and we have this formation of trust. And, you know, going against other players, we do excellent because we trust each other in every angle we attack and hold. You know, having that formation of trust is so key, as you can totally rely on your teammates to hold an angle for you.
Yeah, that's why Onward becomes such a, you know, nearly beautiful game. It's not really about the running around shooting anymore. It's more about the friendships and teammates that you meet and stuff like that, and it, you know, start to bring people together. More of a social aspect to Onward too.
Anyway, pre-fires are coming out.
Nearly catches Rossi.
Poor Rossi has to duck down, but I say, it does appear that Phantoms they're going aggressive. You know, you gotta love it. Not pushing out too far though. Only Gecko pushed out at the white car. It's gonna catch up Pilot Viper here. Shots are coming out. Down goes Pilot Viper from Gecko. I think Rosie is a little bit shell shocked. It is at the back. I say, they do love their pre-fires and their LMG fire. Cannot lie to you.
Yeah, it's absolutely important. The best feeling is feeling like you have a good kill count and then you win the round. Where, you know, when you think there's 2 left and you realize you killed 1 or 2 on a pre-fire. It's brilliant.
I know. I'm not really a pre-fire player, but I do have a time when I actually killed 3 in a pre-fire. And you should have heard my genuine surprise when I killed 1 guy and it was the end of the round. You know, it's stuff like that makes you really just, it's a good feeling. But currently we do have Pablo, which is now holding the lane 1 and the ATV. Does not catch Rossi Jr., which has crossed and it's made it into the back porch of the, I think it's first left house. So, you know, it's very important that Pablo needs to swing out here and take out Rosie Jr. before Jr. takes him out.
See, Aquili's also has the advantage of the bush. If he's playing on PC, he can use that bush to his advantage. Mighty Mike, I believe, does play on PC, so he's going to run into this.
Down goes Rosie Jr. You know, he did a little bit of an interesting position move. Did get caught out, though, from Pablo. But I say, that is And it's now going to be a 4v3. It has been a Phantom player drop, or has he died? I think he's died, but he has dropped from the lobby. Hopefully that can be fixed before next round.
I can Chivas double stack. You know, this could be dangerous with a C4, but after a bit of looking around, I don't think I can see anything. Aquilius comes around, picks out both of them.
A nice little... So that was a nice little PKM pre-fire there into the bushes. Takes out 2. And it is now a 1v4. AD Rossi versus the world.
Rossi a bit slow to start. Oh, it's been taken out. Really nice shot by Pablo. Phantoms go 2-0 up on the defense.
So Phantoms absolutely killing it so far. So you have to kind of see if they can try to keep it up for the next few rounds coming ahead. But say they've done a pretty fair job, and it's now the OG, of course, is moved because it is now round 3. The OBJ will be Center Mansion. Ooh, this is a juicy OBJ and one of the most classic objectives in Onward VRML, of course, being one of the most famous ones which people do remember all the time, coming from the previous seasons. So I find it hard when people ask you, mention like a good moment what happened on Suburbia in the previous season. People always mention about the middle mansion OBJ because there is just so many epic moments where people rush in and get like a 2-man kill push, get a cap. You know, it's such a stressful and a hard to attack objective. So when it goes right for the Marstok side, at least, it feels epic, to say so myself.
Yeah, really hard to attack. I think there is rules against capping from underneath, which you can do if you reach your tablet high enough, but there's rules against it, so you have to get right up inside, you know, inside of the center building, which requires usually a lot of smoke or a player to be off the objective.
I say it is, of course, as you said previously, that was banned because of all fairness in terms of VRML, but yes, of course, but now the rules state you have to be on the staircase, or you have to rush up the stairs to try to go for a cap. But you know, it makes the OBJ a little bit harder, but it does add a bit of fairness, as trying to monitor both floors is almost impossible with all the smoke and flashes and grenades that go through it. Anyway, moving our way into round 3. Does appear to have on the Phantom side, they have spawned on the lane 1 north spawn. So they will be rushing down quickly, trying to get control of lane 1 and 2 to help their team get access to 3 and 4. Clearing playground is a key for this OBJ, but Axonide will be making sure that does not occur. We do appear to have AD Rosie, which will be going for lane 3 and playground, I will imagine. Out goes a flash or a nade. Okay, that was a flash into the back porch and the little bushes in the green. So currently lane 4 and 3 aren't being protected that much. You know, it's up to really AD Rosie here. Rosie has to deal with so many players that are going to be on his tail. But so far, Phantoms has been, you know, attacking is quite passively so far. You know, nothing has really been happening. A few pre-fires into the window from Nuclear. Shots are being had towards Rosie's position, as that is a common spot. Trying to clear if Rosie will be standing there. It is crucial if you're going to play this spot to be crouching down, so you are protected by the sandbags, which aren't shootable. Oh, Pilot Viper does take an Alkalize through his cheek. So that will be 1 pick down.
Sounds like Pilot Viper just managed to catch him by his night vision goggles, apparently.
Let's say, oh. Cadro almost gets taken out there from Pilot Viper. It's now making his way up with the team. Still needs to deal with Rosie, which is still in that position. But I say previously, down goes him as well. Oh, nice little pickup from Rosie onto Nuclear. Pilot Viper is taken from Pablo. It's now a 2v4. Oh, shots are being had towards Tipo here. Oh, down goes Pilot Viper there from Pablo. It's now a 4v2 here. It's up to Tipo and Pablo trying to win this.
Vale, bien. En línea 1 había uno.
No lo sé. El de Nicolás que ha caído.
Vale, bien.
Yo creo que por ahí por tu
And
zona
Rossi
ya
has that
cuidado, que
good
hay
position now
Voy a buscar.
onto Tipo and Pablo. If he does not spot them, I mean, if they do not spot him, this could be a very lethal position. But a grenade goes out to his position and takes him out.
Nice. Down goes Rosie. That was a nice little pick there, of course.
Quedamos tú y yo,
Sí.
Yeah, terrific
Venga,
grenade.
todos ahí.
Very,
Yo
very
tengo
much
otro
needed.
humo,
Después lo...
Ooh, down goes Mighty Mike from a... Oh no! From
Oh,
a grenade thrown by his teammate.
oh, it could be falling apart for Access tonight. It's down to a 2v2.5, as I like to call it.
So I do, so yeah, anyway, so Mighty Mike can still give out callouts to his team. So it's up to Travis now, being the last one remaining, to try to hold the OBJ. But he does have some backup from, of course, Rosie June, which is now done the push. Roger does get taken out, unfortunately. It's now up to Travis, the last one standing. Travis is using the G36 with, I think, does he have a flash, or does he have a C4? I don't think he does. I say it is gonna be tight.
Yeah, back door, back door.
Mighty Mike has been taken out. Tipo is pushing through. Oh! Tipo is taken out from Travis. But no! Travis gets
Wow.
taken out from Pablo.
Now that is a comeback and a half from Phantoms. Terrific. Phantoms, access denied were, I think, 5v2 at one point, and Phantoms managed to bring it completely back once again. You know, they're really, really good on their attacks, sharpen their skills, and look like a really strong team at the moment.
Of course, they've done very, very well for so far, of course. Okay, but anyway, let me just quickly fix something, which I may have forgotten, because I may have accidentally have the wrong team logo in, because see, I was having some little technical issues going on with a few of the team logos previously. As occasionally there is software glitches, but I will quickly just fix that for the quick moment, so just give me a few moments. Of course, we do have Delamiro to keep you entertained, so do enjoy him.
Yeah, here we have the same objective now, access denied. Gonna need to bring out a cap to fully bring this back. Phantoms have the easier job of attacking though. You know, they're gonna want to use the C4s, etc. to stop access denied's attacks. And, you know, we've seen so far Phantoms have been overall a very, very strong team. And they, you know, as I mentioned, strong on attacks, which is usually the problem with a lot of teams, especially at the silver to gold level. You know, it's constantly back and forward in terms of rounds, and it always ends up in 4-3s, you know, trades after trade. But here we can see Phantoms have just managed to grab that edge, even on Bazaar, which they did lose. You know, they got unlucky with the first cap, and then the last cap was, you know, up to access denied's very, very well. Good skill there.
Anyway, now moving over down to round 4. It is 3-0 going to Phantoms. Of course, access denied will be panicking. We'll be trying to make sure they do get a cap here, or they do try to win this round. So now that a little thing I added is now gone, so we can stop worrying about it. But people which are questioning about the rules about jiggling, VRML rules do say that jiggling is not banned. It is technically speaking an exploit, but in theory, it's not banned from VRML, and many players do consider it a necessity. Oh, very nice so far. Down goes Rosie. Pilot Viper does take out Oculus. Does take out Pablo. Pilot Viper going for it. That was a smoke. Oh, top of stairs. Pilot Viper gets taken out. So does Rosie Jr.
3 3v2. Phantom's very strong now. A lot of pre-fire from Gueco. That smoke is really causing some pressure.
Oh, nice nade on top of Tippo there. Super nice nade. Let's just rewatch that back on the replay. Sexy nade going on top of that. Mighty Mike rushing up the staircase.
Oh, he doesn't see him.
He's trying to find him. Where is he? Oh, he's run straight by him.
He's trying to cap. But that smoke is going to be running out very, very soon.
He might have enough time though. Oh, the finger's gone. Looks at him straight in the face. And he gets shot. Leaving now up to Chavis. Still stuck into a 1v2. Do need to worry about Nuclear and of course Greco. It's all up to Chavis to make sure they can try to win this. Nuclear is watching that angle. Oh, out goes a flash. Just hit Chavis.
It's very tough for Shivas to push up now. Nuclear holds a very strong position, but I think Shivas knows about it. Greco can see from the front of the objective Shivas if he decides to push up. Shivas pushes up to Nuclear, takes him out, but Greco...
Oh, Greco doesn't peek.
Greco doesn't move.
So this now, it is now anyone's game. It is Chavis versus Greco. So it is looking, you know, no one can really say who's going to win this round. You know, Greco will be watching at that little staircase cubby, trying to stop Chavis's approach. But, you know, if Chavis gets a grenade in or a flash or smoke, you know, that could just be game. So Gecko will be looking down the staircase. So they will be looking good.
A lot of weight on Shivas's shoulders to win this. Phantom's quite comfortably ahead. You know, some smoke out. Good cross. I think Shivas has a real chance if Greco's gonna sit and play, you know, the way he is. Just needs to run in quick and start pre-firing those common positions. Pushes in.
Oh, he's trying to check down the staircase, trying to make sure there's no one down there, which is a pretty good idea. Trying to spot, I believe, for that little crack. See if Trevor or Greco is peeking up. But no, down goes Chevas. And that will be game for the second map, going to Phantoms. Oh my, and it has now left us down to a tiebreaker map decider. Oh, very exciting. So now, Delamiro, take your bets. Take your bets. Do you believe it's going to be a quarantine? Because I sure think it is going to be a quarantine.
It is access denied's pick last, so I don't think it will be quarantine in terms of access denied. I'm not sure what their stats were on it. I can quickly check. Access denied played quarantine last season 7 times and won it 5. Yeah, quarantine could potentially be a very, very good pick for both teams. But overall,
So yeah, it does appear the final map for this evening is going to be, as you can hear from the music, it's going to be Downfall. So one of the more larger maps, very open, very exposed, but you can understand to why people want to choose this map. It is favorite of many and most despised by always, but it's one of those maps which, you know, you're either really good at Downfall or you really suck at Downfall. It's kind of no in between. This map has so many outplay abilities, as there's so many spots you kind of need to know and need to master. All the windows, of course, with all the head peeking you can do to become very, you know, peekable. It's all very crucial.
yeah, looking at the last map, you know, Phantoms were very, very dominant. I think even on the first map, Phantoms were quite dominant. You know, they were managing to win those attacks consistently. And if anything is going to really, really excel a team on this map, it's going to be their attacks. It's a very, very defensive-sided map, and a lot of smokes need to be coming out, you know, covering crosses. But no player can possibly carry enough smokes to cover themselves on this map. It's so open, which is the beauty of this very classic map. Southwest
But yes, this is Of course, the lower dumpster OBJ. Probably it's one of the OBJs which I see teams play wrong very often, but you know, it is still a very good objective. But anyway, but so of course we do have the very legendary quick spawn, which is in the west, or the west side. Of course, if you do get a quick spawn, you know, it all goes to hell very quickly. So I am hoping for one. I do love a quick spawn, as it really relies on teams planning and strategy to try to secure middle hotel and secure all the sight lines. But you know, until that kind of happens, it is kind of anyone's game to who decides to win that map. But I said, as previously mentioned, jiggling. Oh yeah, I said jiggling is of course banned, but you know, until jiggling is of course fixed, you know, that will be a part of the game. But I will not be talking about any more. Well, of course, now the final maps. Anybody which isn't checked in before, it has been 4-3 and 0-4. So it is now left us down to a tiebreaker map decider. So I am very interested to see how this will be going.
Yeah, this map, you know, it's going to be, usually it's a back and forward map because it's very defensive sided. Phantoms have the, you know, upper hand with the defensive advantage, which is a real thing in Onward at the moment, you know, now, but since it's so much easier to defend in comparison to attacking, especially on this map, as I mentioned, you know, it's probably going to be a close map in my opinion. I'm thinking maybe a 4-2, 4-3. But to which team, I'm not sure.
So, you know, this is big money, big money. Whoever wins this map, you know, it really comes down to it, huh? So, but both teams will be trying to absolutely hardest trying to secure this map. Of course, Axis have chosen this map, so they have come into this map expecting to win it. So we'll kind of have to see if their hopes are going to be correct, if Phantoms are going to get beaten by, of course, Axis tonight. Of course, somebody who do have, you know, when you do have the map pick, you know, it is crucial to make a very good choice to play maps that the other team isn't so good at, so you do have an easier time. But you never know, there is instances where you do see teams pick a map and get beaten on it. You know, it does happen. I've had matches to where the home team picks a map and they get beaten, and then the away team picks a map and we beat them on them. You know, it just happens occasionally.
Yeah, looking back on records as well, Phantoms have played Access Denied on Downfall again. It was also 4-3 to Access Denied, much like Suburbia, so if Phantoms have anything to go off from last round, could even be another 4-0.
Of course, we'll kind of have to see, but if it's going to be a 4-0, that'll be an interesting play to see. But going over straight to the gameplay, it's going to be a quick spawn, ladies and gentlemen, a quick spawn. Oh, how am I excited for this round.
Yeah, they can play this either two ways. They can play it as a quick spawn, or they can play it as a kind of quick spawn but switch it up. You know, they can play it really, really slowly, creeping up on the objective.
But I believe, yeah. Oh no, I would have thought the quick spawn was given away, but but apparently not. But no, one pick is already down for Phantom side, so that is a little upside for Access Denied. But the quick spawn has been given out, and Nuclear and a Chris will be pushing into middle hotel. As middle hotel, as I said previously, is crucial if you want to try to win this. But it doesn't appear to have AD Rosie and Josie Jr. kind of going for a flank, going up to the north side. Pilot Viper is trying to cross, hasn't checked, does get taken up from Nuclear in the second room. Very nice little pick.
Yeah, very meta defense from Phantoms, two inside of the Central Hotel, one watching out onto the objective, one watching down onto the quick spawn, whereas we have one into the objective building, which is Gueco on the top floor, another strong position, and we have Tipo Jora on the church. Very, very meta positions, you know. As usual, that's all Downfall will bring. It's very tough to play off meta positions because you will get capped on. And as we can see here, two of Access Denied's members, AD Rossi and AD Rosie Jr., pushing all the way around with no players watching them, it seems. Gueco and Tipo are both got their backs turned.
So this will be going for Axis Knight's favor, as you just said. You know, players aren't expecting this. Greco and of course Tipo can be taken out. That it will be such a massive leap for Axis Knight to be able to push up carefully. You know, all they have to worry about now is middle hotel, but if they rush Grillet, they can go for the inside building cap. Nuclear almost gets picked off there. He is picking out often. Oh, Chavez does get down and taken out from Tipo. But I say, we do have Rosie, which is now starting to peek around. Seems to be looking at where Gecko is positioned. It is a 3v3. Oh, and the revive onto Chavez has gone up. I thought that was a finish, but apparently not. Down goes Nuclear from Mighty Mike. He was using a suppressor, so he may not have known where the shots are coming from. We'll have to hope. Rosie is now on his way, pushing up. We're trying to go for the inside cap. Does take out Gecko here. He has access to the OBJ. Need to make sure not to kill. Make sure not to kill. Hopefully he has called it out to not kill. But no, the kill, unfortunately. Unfortunately, do go for the kill, and that will be 2 points missed. Faxes tonight, that will be 1 going to them instead. Oh,
I just heard Rossi shout. He's not happy about that. He was really, really angry. You know, but to be honest, I think it was down to him needing, you know, a bit of communication. Unless he did, and that's why he's annoyed. But you can't be angry if you haven't called it out.
So it is always crucial to make sure you have called out things like caps to your team, of course. So you never want to be in that instance where you forget to call out a cap and the team will miss it. So I do appear to be having some form of connection issues, so just give me just a few moments. Having some weird instability issues currently going on. Hopefully that will be fixed, and it is. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, but yes, everything is kind of returned now. Still having some minor issues. I'm not exactly sure to what is going on, but hopefully that will be kind of fixed in a little bit. It seems to have come back to normal. But anyway, but as you said, yes, unfortunately that cap was missed, and of course he's going to be angry because of that missed opportunity. But anyway, as I was saying, it's now going to be Axis Knight turn, try to defend it. Maybe they can try to get this point in. If they do get this point, it will be even game. So that will be going for Phantoms, of course, decidable favour. But Axis Knight is hoping that, dear gosh, they can try to get the defence and maybe try to get that third round cap, securing the map for them. So, of course, we're going back to the stats and statistics. Of course, checking over to Axis Denied play. They played Downfall a whopping 6 times in total in Season 13. So, you know, that is a fair chunk of Downfall. You know, probably not as much as other teams do, but that is still a fair chunk. Does not appear to be the quick spawn. It's going to be the... Oh, it's going to be the second quick spawn, which is going to be the Marsuk spawn. This is an eastern spawn, of course. This is not the quicker spawn, but, you know, this is still a very quick spawn, as both the teams will be rushing over this hill, trying to get an advantage point, maybe able to take out 2 players. Oh, Rosie barely avoids getting absolutely obliterated.
Wow,
Pilot Viper is peeking around, is in the downstairs window. Pilot Viper, it will be looking at trying to spot players. Down goes Gecko in the tower.
Nice pick, but it's a map that's ultra hard to see on, especially for those quest players.
Oh. Safe, the picks are flying in fast and hard. So far, just have 2 players down for Phantoms, 1 player down for Access Denied. To say, Rosie Jr. did get absolutely lit up like a birthday cake in the beginning of the round, but not Rosie Jr., Rosie. Let's say that is sometimes how it goes. Rosie Jr. is watching the right building, where Pablo is peeking around. Nuclear is at the top of Marsuk 2, laying it down. So it's kind of trying to see how they're going to push this. Smokes are being thrown, trying to block off Pilot Viper's position.
Pilot Viper really denying that push from Tipo and Nuclear, but that smoke, you know, gonna be a massive handicap for him.
Let's say it is a 3v4, so actually I do have the numbers over Phantoms for the current moment. Pilot Viper is trying to watch through the windows, and if he does get another peek for his gets another pick for his team, that could be quite a round decider. As trying to push on Downfall is super hard.
especially in this position where all of your positions are now known, apart from, actually no, Tipo and Nuclear, good rotations. Pilot Viper no longer able to track their exact positions, unlike before. Tipo looking like he's going to be doing a push around the valley, potentially meeting up with Pablo.
So it does appear to be stacking, but they do have a warrior, which is Mighty Mike, which we'll be watching at the Ravine Cross. Oh, he's not currently looking, so he might be able to get through scot-free, but no. But if he does try to go for that cross, you know, it's very high possibility that he will be taken out from Mighty Mike. Oh, a few shots were being had from Pablo, and now from Nuclear. Oh, Travis almost takes out Pablo there, who's peeking out through that window. Tipo is now making it through the Ravine Cross. He's pushing through it, however.
We're watching Nuclear's position. Oh, just misses him as well.
So Pilot Viper will be the main target for Tipo as he is pushing up. Hopefully doesn't get peeked out from a course of AD Chavez. Oh, Tipo does get shot. Does hit the ground hard, trying to avoid bullets. Pablo is downed. Tipo will be probably coming around, trying to get for the revive. Pilot Viper is rushing out to secure the kill on the Tipo. And it's now going to be a 1v4. It is not looking good for Phantoms on this round.
Yeah, absolutely. Access Denied held it well after the first round. And it's now up to one lone attacker, Nuclear, to do it. And he's not managed to breach that, start yet. And he's got 2.5 minutes left. So he's got plenty of time to kind of, go around, potentially revive his teammate in the ravine. But he might be bleeding out very, very soon.
I believe the bleed out is, it is quite a long bleed out, so I don't think that Pablo will be bleeding out. I think they did increase the time. Might be able to spot Pilot Viper. Oh! Nuclear almost take out Pilot Viper there. By the way, does manage to cut back inside. Nuclear's position is known to the enemy team. Nuclear is going for that revive, as you did mention, but does need to worry about, of course, Pilot Viper and Chavez, which will be watching his position. Oh! Shots are being shot from Chavez onto Nuclear. He just bouncing right to left, trying to find an angle which is safe to peek. Pardon me. Oh, shots are being had onto Pilot Viper, but oh no, down goes Nuclear from Pilot Viper, securing the second round. 2 access denied.
Yeah, Access Denied's turn to attack, and we are on. Oh, we're on this objective. The, I think it's the East Stables. Very, very tough to defend if they land their smokes and grenades right. They have to sit out, very far, but it's again one of the hardest ones to attack. But usually the ones that are very difficult to attack are very easy to cap, which is a common trend in this game. Which makes it kind of balanced out. And Phantoms, very, very capable of these slow attacks we've seen on Bazaar. And also on Suburbia, capable of these slow attacks and picking off their players one by one. So, we should be, we could potentially see... Oh no, sorry, it's Access Denied attacking.
Yeah, Access Denied will be attacking. Sorry, I just had to slip in there. But yeah, Access Denied is actually attacking this round.
Okay, well, that changes it up a bit.
Yeah, I just can't physically see the gameplay at the current moment on the scoreboard, as I was trying to figure out to why it's having a little bit of a laggy issue. I'm not exactly sure why I'm having some frame issues, because I've not had issues in the past. I will be checking that out later, but that's not the important to say. Phantoms will be on the defense, and it is the free little room, which is on the eastern or the northeast OBJ spawn. So, it's gonna be interesting to see how Access Denied will be attacking it. But talking about getting straight to it, we are going into round 3, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get ready for it.
Quick spawn, okay.
Oh, the quick spawn has been called out. They do have the ravine spawn, so this is going to be very exciting for us to witness.
Yeah, and this can end in, as I say, it could end in a cap for Access Denied. Easy to cap on this map, this objective
OBJ.
in particular as well. And it's just down to Access Denied getting this attack.
So we do here have Gecko and of course Alcos, which are going for the quick spawn at the ravines. Do have Rosie and of course Pilot Viper, which are going for the ravine push. Pilot Viper will be taking up the peak. Rosie do need to worry about tank here. I do believe Rosie will be going for that tank to make sure that it will be cleared. Pilot Viper is peeking over. Shots are being shot towards Pilot Viper. He does duck down and the spawn has been called out, but they are not playing the quick spawn. They are playing splitting even. Just appear to be having like a bit of an arrow pointing down. Oh, down goes a curse from Pilot Viper.
Little battle coming out onto the two. I didn't know who was going to come out on top, really.
Wrong Rosie, for God's sake. Anyway, checking over to Rosie. Rosie has almost a clear angle onto Gecko. Rosie just needs to kind of get a bit closer and try to peek his head up, take out Gecko, and just help his team push up through the ravines. He's now making his way up. He's just trying to spot Gecko from the tank. Kind of waiting for Gecko to turn to... English is hard. Trying to decide if he's going to peek left again. He is going for the left side push. Oh. Trying to spot, but no. Down goes... Oh. Rosie almost gets taken out. Does drop his gun. Trying to throw a flashbang. Has flash until what does get confirmed. Ooh. Nice grenade, though, on top of him. Which I must say, that was an excellent grenade toss.
Absolutely. That would have hit him if he didn't get killed from Pablo.
I must say, unfortunately, the quick smart thinking from Gecko, making it from the peak, not from the bottom of the tank, but from the top of the tank. That was very wise.
Rosie Jr. just firing at nuclear. These two, you know of each other's positions. Probably didn't even hear it from Rosie's gun being so quiet.
Let's say Gecko is currently the biggest threat going for Pilot Viper. So once Pilot Viper is clear, it does give a bit of access. Shooting in the mountains, which was a rock texture, but fair enough. Down goes Rosie Jr. from Tipo, and it's now going to be left down to a 1v2 situation.
1v4.
Oh, 1v4. I am 1v4. Thank you for correcting me, but yes, it's a 1v4. Sorry, I was just looking at the down counter. Oh, and that is that. Pilot Viper taken out.
Yeah, honestly, a very hard objective to attack on. Just comes down to getting close to the objective, controlling those close positions and then throwing a lot of smoke in. But Access Denied took it a bit too far out around the sides and got picked out one by one as they were approaching. Not the way to take it in this objective, with very long range angles.
So no matter how they took that, it's unfortunately, there's going to be rounds where mistakes do happen, and back to tonight, say, they did lose that round, but they're going to try their best to try to win it on the next round, which is going to be the defensive round, of course. So I am
on my camera. There is a little.
Oh yeah, it's a book.
What is that?
It's a book.
Oh, very nice.
This is very important, but this is a book, and I was say No, it's cigarettes. I'll take that back. It's cigarettes.
Oh, very nice. Just in case you get a little bit bored on the objective, you can have a little pack.
Cigarettes con filtrator, macra, regristrada. I don't speak. I can't read. I can barely read English, let alone read in English with a different tone. But that is a nice packet of cigarettes. So there's some Onward trivia for you. There's a packet of cigarettes in that OBJ room. Only you would notice that, Miro. Spanish, yes. Only you would notice that, Miro.
Those little things I only notice when I'm casting.
I must admit, there is occasional times when I am playing or casting where I see random things. I'm like, oh, what is this?
Yeah, things you miss out on while you're playing because you're so focused on the game. Same spawn, I believe, for Access Tonight, for Phantoms.
So I'm trying to think, but there was a moment on my last cast which happened on Snow Peak where I noticed something and I went, oh, what is this? Pure curiosity. This game always still surprises me after like a amount of hundreds of hours I put into it. So yeah.
Yeah, the best thing is going from Quest to PC and seeing all the little Easter eggs and stuff that they put in the game. Shots already out from Achilles. Notices Pilot Viper way off into the mountains in the southeast.
Oh, down goes Rosie from nuclear. No, yeah.
Now goes
No,
nuclear,
nuclear.
From Rossi.
I had to orientate myself, as I went back to a previous camera, and it was so that that was an interesting way for that to go. Oh my.
Oh, good picks from Pilot Viper. Down to Quilly's also. It's a 1v4, just like last round.
Pilot Viper's in a it's in a spot and a half. I give you that. You know, that is not a spot you normally expect.
Oh yeah, absolutely way off in the mountains. I've seen some really, really old players who've played Onward. You know, old in terms of season-wise and how long they've played, not in age. You know, I've seen a lot of players pull off positions like this.
I've seen 64-year-olds play this game, and they have the interesting strategies.
Well, you can play Onward at any age. That's the beauty of it.
Of course. In 40 years' time, when I'll be playing Onward for my grandchildren.
Yeah. Onward 2.
Onward 2. Of course. By then, Onward 2 might come out. You never know.
I haven't got GTA 6 by then, though.
Oh yeah, GTA 6 will probably still be in development. It's the constant jokes of GTA 6 will be probably out by the time the future generation is coming out. So, Pilot Viper. Oh, Pilot Viper's almost got picked off there. Just take out Jeppo from the right building.
Pilot Viper in a super dangerous position. Achilles is completely bound to this building. Pilot Viper is not going to let him go.
If you love me, let me go.
Guess he doesn't love him very much then.
No, clearly not. But I say it's not looking too good for Chris. Still stuck in that 4v1 position. You know, he's stuck inside of that building, so he can't really move out here. He's peeking through the window though, so there is an opportunity that he could take out Pilot Viper, but it does appear to be retreating. Oh, never mind, he just wants to go back to it. He keeps dancing in and out of the window, but he has finally left, I am sure of it. And we'll be trying to go for a ravine push, which, okay, it's an interesting decision to make, but could be also used to his advantage, as he will be able to surprise Pilot Viper here. And he doesn't really going high, trying to climb up the mountain.
Yeah, he does have coverage, you know, within the mountain. But he doesn't have coverage from those far angles. He could be taken out if somebody spots him. But he's way off the distance.
I've never played in the mountains before, which is an interesting thing which I might experiment with, but I've always preferred to be closer to the OBJ than further than the OBJ, so to play across the entire map in the middle of nowhere with no coverage, it's a task and a half, but it is going to play off for him clearly, because Pilot Viper is on the riser for this almost insane play he's about to perform, and he's peeked over the hill and does take him out. You know, it's something we weren't expecting to say at least, but it has worked.
Yeah, now Achilles is about 100 miles off the objective, but he has 1 minute and 50 seconds, which isn't the longest time, but it's long enough to get off and get down to the objective.
But say his current goal, I would imagine, will be trying to get one pick. Could have possibly picked out Rosie Jr., which barely avoids him. Barely avoids him. So he does manage to duck in, you know, to avoid the bullets. But 1 minute and 30 seconds, I mean, you know, you have to kind of get on it, to say at least.
Needs to check that watch on his wrist.
Or check his tablet. He has to take care of the time he does have. He's running out of time, so the longer he takes, it's not good for him. You should be kind of really trying to make sure to get through it. He's taking his time to get down the rocks to make sure he doesn't break his legs, which is a common issue which I do have happen. Anybody which has played on the new custom maps this season of Shipyard, am I saying, not Shipment? It is the staircases in the middle building claim the lives of many people.
They are lethal.
They are lethal. I have a player on my team which is notorious for falling off the stairs. It is the funniest thing ever. I remember because in one scrim we played that thing. He played on the stairs, and for each round he always asked me to revive him. So.
Oh, beep, beep, beep. He's getting that beep in from his watch. Achilles probably not going to have enough time to push in, unfortunately.
He has 15 seconds to try to, you know, hightail it to the OBJ. In a realistic world, if he wasn't being shot at, you know, which is not going to happen as the trade does come out, you know, it's going to be physically impossible for him to reach that OBJ in time, and that is going to be 3-1 going to Phantoms. Not Phantoms, Access Denied, sorry.
Access Denied, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so far Access Denied have been very strong on this map. I thought it'd be a lot closer in terms of, you know, back and forward, but Access Denied got a very good attack off on one of those rounds, and now it's down to a 3v1. I think next round will go to Phantoms on the defense, and then it's up to Access Denied to defend. But if Phantoms do win that, they will then be on the final round to win it on defense. But only time will tell. We are on a new objective this time. I believe it is very similar to the first objective we saw, is upper dumpster this time.
Oh, so this is going to be very, oh, still, your camera is still positioned at the cigarettes, but anyway, yeah, flying over to the upper dumpster. So it is, it's going to be a very juicy last round for Exxon if they can secure this victory, but for Phantom's sake, they do have quite a easy OBJ from my personal experience to defend. You know, a good defense can easily secure this win for Phantoms on this round, and if not, you know, Axon can try to secure it, but you know, it is getting very tight and tough. Axon only needs one more point, remember, to get this final win to finish the tiebreaker map, but until that happens, it's all still fair games.
Yeah, tiebreaker maps, very common, but love to see him, you know, tense, and it's usually late on in the night, you know, when tiebreakers happen, because it's, you know, it's gone on for so long, the players are tired, it's a test of endurance even.
I remember a time when I had a match which lasted for 2.5 hours. It was painful. Of course, when you do have matches for going for that long, there is issues to do with battery changes, but anyway, enough of the joys of how long these matches can sometimes last. They do appear, well, the Daxons do have the north spawn, and we are going to have Phantoms which are getting the ravine spawn, and we'll be making our way into the OBJ, so, you know, they do have time to set up shop and to get themselves ready for this.
Yeah, going back to the length of some of the games we've seen last season in the finals of Onward, some of the games, you know, 5 rounds, we play 5 maps if they're not won in the first 3, and because of that, some games can last up to even like 5 hours long if it's a really tight game. I think we've seen Imperial, I think they played like a 5-hour game in the final at one point. You know, that is really intense. You need breaks. You know, it's going to get hot. It's going to get really late for you.
There's going to be player switches constantly if that's the case.
Yeah, it comes down to it's no longer a sprint, it's a marathon now.
So it's of course in the final thing, which is the best out of 5 matches, to make sure to get the most fairness out of the game. You know, it gets really tough. You know, 5 maps back to back to back, it starts to drain you, and it just drives you insane. There's so many maps you have to play, so many opportunities, and you know, if you don't win it after that amount of time, it starts to break your mental, to say at least. But
I suppose the adrenaline of playing in a final is all you need. Oh, Rosie Jr. gets down.
That was a nice little play there from Gecko onto Rosie. Rosie has not been confirmed, so still a possible res if Gecko does get taken out, but I don't believe so. Rosie is kind of in a one-shot opportunity kind of OBJ spot. Something I do want to mention though, Rosie, well, the Rosie 2021 is, you know, Rosie's making distance. Rosie could try to go for some cap here. You know, he does need to worry about the 2 players and of course Tepo, but if the team can offer some support, take a few picks down, get a few of the people down the right side building, you know, the cap is still possible. And of course, you can go for the inside cap, which I imagine AD's trying to do.
I think one thing that Access and Ida are quite good at usually, Rossi has been spotted here unfortunately for him, but one thing that Access and Ida are quite good at is distracting and then managing to get a cap by sneaking a player in. You know, it's one thing that they seem to be quite good at, and Rossi seems to be going for it here. Usually you want to all be pushing in as a team, but if you can get one player in, slipping past the defense, you know, when the other team have no idea, then it's really tough.
But say if Rossi can, you know, sneak his way inside, you know, that could almost be game. If he gets the cap quick enough, you know, there's no defense to a quick cap. Do need to try to take out Gecko here. So Rossi does have an issue to worry about Pablo and of course Gecko. I say it is the do. Well, of course, Rossi does have two teammates, which do need to kind of push up here. Being honest, you know, it's all fair and all taking their time, but Rossi is trying to do a very hard play, and to do it by himself, you know, it's not going to work out. I was a grenade. Oh, could have almost cut off Pablo there.
I think his teammate Shivas has got Pablo covered if he decides to push out. Mighty Mike Rossi takes out Gecko.
That's a nice peek. Gecko. Rossi's going for it. Rossi is going for it. He's going for that cap. He has made his way up. You know, the cap is still possible.
Really, you want to be watching the front of that objective like his life depends on it, because it does here.
Do you need to worry about Knuck? Oh, and Knuckler does take out Rossi, so that the cap chance is no longer going to happen. It is going to be a 1v4 for Mighty Mike.
Yeah, they all know where Mighty Mike is as well after all those shots, so it's not going to be easy at all. Oh! Just missed Tipo Juro, peeks over the top.
Ah, does get taken out. And that'll be the second point going for Phantoms.
Yeah, Phantoms are now attacking. As we've seen before, a cap can completely switch this around and win Phantoms the match. Same objective, quite a capital objective with a lot of smoke, and we've seen Phantoms are very, very good attacking team. But Access Denied are also quite a good defensive team. You know, we've seen Pilot Viper was, you know, playing some really good positions out wide in off-meta positions, and he's going to be the MVP for this map by far.
Of course it will be, and having some weird bug issues going on currently with the overlays and such for the current moment. So I'm just going to have a quick look at that. Not exactly sure to why, but it's appeared the scoreboard isn't currently working. I'm not exactly sure to what has just happened, but yeah, apparently my scoreboard is just not working. Apparently I'm not able to switch to it, but I have found it on the OBS, so we will be able to switch to it. But yeah, bizarre. Anyway, going back to the gameplay, it is of course going to be 3-2, and yeah, something's gone wrong with the software for this evening, so I don't think I'm able to change the scores. It's so random. I'll try to reconnect to it, but of course things do happen occasionally. But anyway, going back towards the gameplay, as Miro can entertain you as I try to figure out what is going on. Going into round, it does appear to be round 6. So yeah. But to say, it does appear I'm not going to be able to use the software, unfortunately. But I'll try my best to try to keep it going, but I'm not exactly sure to what is going on, but it does appear to be some sort of issue is happening. Hopefully I can try to figure it out. Down goes Accurize from Pilot Viper there. Shots are being had onto Pilot Viper, of course.
Pilot Viper, the MVP of this map so far. You know, he's already pushed out and got a kill, and he could potentially get another. Nearly taken out, however. Nuclear really patient on that trigger, watching into the Marsoc twins next to Rosie Jr. They're looking for those quick defenses. Pilot Viper pushing up. And a trade comes out. Nuclear comes out on top. Tipo takes out Rosie Jr. also. It comes down to a 3v3.
It is getting close.
3v4 now. Phantoms get that revive out onto Nuclear. This is looking strong for Phantoms. This could be the comeback that they need for this map.
Of course, it could be the comeback, and I have restored connection, so we're all back to the overlay. Sorry about that weird issue that just occurred. I am not sure to what just happened there, but anyway, going back to the gameplay, say it is now a 3v4. Axis tonight are trying their absolute hardest, trying to win this. Travis is trying not to get shot here. So that will be Travis's main goal, trying to protect the OBJ. Of course, we do have Rosie, which we will be watching down, which is going to be the watch from the rock far back in the south.
Phantom's taking it very slow, just taking off some shots, you know, from the long range, just firing at some spots. But Access and I do not budge yet. Lasers all trained to the outside, some smokes out from Nuclear, covering his cross.
So it is important for Axis tonight to be making sure that they do not get to the objective. You know, Phantom needs to get one cap and they've won it. So Axis will be trying their very hardest, trying not to get picked out here. Mighty Mike is moving around just a little bit, trying to offer some more assistance for his teammates. Smokes are being thrown, of course, but we do have Rosie, which will be offering some great oversight. Down goes Gecko, but so does Travis with a trade.
Yeah, I think Rossi's position now is going to be probably the most important. They're all down in that center area, and Rossi has that view right onto all of them. They don't know he's there either. Calling out to Mike to get some fire. Rossi is panicking. You can hear it in his voice.
So if, of course, Mighty Mike does get taken out, it is all up to Rosie, as he's not going to be able to do a back cap, unfortunately.
Constant pressure onto Mike. He is not going to be...
Mike is being hammered currently by the looks of it. You know, poor Mike, he's stuck inside of that room. All players on Phantoms are just spraying it.
Yeah, now it's just more and more smoke coming out by the second. Rossi might catch Tipo pushing up, but he doesn't. He just stays within the crevices of the map.
Oh, Tipo is shooting towards the building. Does not see Rossi yet. Rossi does see Tipo, does take out Tipo. Important
2v2
pick.
now.
It is
Pablo
important
pushing
picks.
up to lower dumpster.
Mighty Mike is gonna possibly be taken out here from Pablo.
Pablo just trying to get that angle onto Rossi, I believe. Or
So,
not.
No, I don't think that Pablo is looking at Rossi. Nuclear is looking at Rossi's position, but Mighty, you know, because Rossi will be watching Mighty Mike's position carefully. That's the only thing he cares about currently. Making sure they do not get that cap. So it's 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining. Nuclear might be trying to do a similar thing there what Tipo did. Rossi is not phased about the gunshots landing right behind him. He's just watch this angle. Might be able to pick off Nuclear here as he comes up the hill. Shots are being fired, but no! Rossi is taken out.
Mighty Mike pushes
And
outside, and it's a trade. Phantoms coming back on this attack. I called it. Phantoms could absolutely bring this back. It's down to a defense, and it's going to be a 4-3 like I called, unless Access denied cap and make it a 5-3. This has been a spectacular game so far, and Phantoms have shown impeccable courage, but now Access Denied need to show even more, because they have to attack the next objective, which will be the West Bungalow. There isn't much I can say about this objective. It's going to be an objective that they're going to try and take from wide angles, most likely. You know, we have places like down here where you can, you know, slowly creep up, and even in the hills, like we saw before, but more out into the western sides. I guess it's just kind of a game of what's going to happen now. I'm not sure. I can't really call out anything now.
So it is gonna be tough. Access Denied will be trying their absolute hardest to secure either a cap, but I think they will be trying to go for kills more than caps. Of course, you know, they only need one more point to get this win, and so does Phantoms. It would be foolish dying for a cap if they could have just got the kills and finished the round off and over with. So it will be anyone's game. Let's say it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be very stressful for both sides. Now I imagine both teams will be working their absolute hardest to make sure that they make sure they don't get taken out. They will not be making mistakes, they will be making any foolish plays here. They will be on top of their game, securing this win for either side. They will be trying their best.
Yeah, if we remember back to the first, I don't know if it was first or second round, but Access and I could have capped. And if they would have capped, the game would have been over by now, which is, you know, absolutely heartbreaking. If they lose this in particular, that will be absolutely devastating for Access Denied. But, you know, we'll have to see how it pans out. Access Denied getting the far southeast spawn, you know, very, very far away. But, yeah, it's looking like a 4-1 split. You might kind of just freeze in place for a second as well.
So it's going to be, you know, being this type of spawn, it gives them freedom, but also makes it a bit harder as they can't use brute speed to take to their advantage. But as they have spawned further back, it does allow the team to split off. As you said, it is going to be a 2-2-1. So that is a very nice split. So we'll offer some support on the north, center, and of course the ravines. Do the appear to have Rosie, which is in the ravines, which is Rosie's preferred angle of attack. Is making his way up, might be able to offer some form of support, and if that is the case, that can help them get closer to the objective.
Yeah, if we have a look here, I thought the Phantoms would be tucking in a lot, but you can see their lasers just popping out very, very commonly. You know, they're not tucking in. They're trying to catch Access Denied on the early picks, which they've, you know, done really well so far. It's always ended up in a 4v1 kind of situation every time.
Let's say it is now important than ever before to make sure to not get picked off. The current score is 7-10 going to Access Denied. So Access Denied, in theory, do have the less amount of points, but if they can secure this last point, you know, they have won the game. Pilot Viper is now trying to make his way down to lower red truck. Is crawling, so he will be unspottable from Gakko, who will be watching through the middle hotel window. Say stuff like that, like Pilot Viper just did, that just shows the amount of experience. Just to remember to make sure to lay down so he will not be spotted on the cross, and he will be able to freely move downwards to lower red truck building and towards the stone wall, which will give his give a little bit of an advantage point for him.
Yeah, Pilot Viper's in a strong position. He has views onto, you know, Achilles and Nuclear. Although that could also be a negative because he is all alone watching Achilles and Nuclear. Nuclear takes out Rosie Jr. as well in that very strong position, but does give that intel away to Pilot Viper. Now is his laser trained onto Nuclear's position.
So it is now up to Rosie. Rosie is in the lower dumpster OBJ. So we'll be making his way probably soon, trying to get to middle hotel if he can do. Do need to worry about Oculus, which is watching for that window. I say this is going to be a very tight, but down goes Pilot Viper. Rosie is going for it. He's going for a very aggressive push. Makes it to Gecko. Pilot Viper is confirmed.
Yeah, if Rossi has stayed quiet, well, if Rossi stayed quiet, they won't know he's here at all. But he knows that they're in there. You know, they're making a lot of noise, calling stuff out.
So Gecko has decided to hide inside the cubby. He is tracking Rossie's general vicinity of where he's going to be. So Gecko is going to anticipate that Rossi is going to come around that corner. Hopefully Rossi can try to remember to not slow peek it. You know, get around that corner fast and hard to stop Gecko from anticipating him. Nothing's worse than slow peeking around the corner.
Yeah, only slow peek if you know that they've got their back turned or something like that.
Yes, something which I see happens quite commonly in a few lower teams, they do appear to do a lot of slow peeking. And honestly, slow peeking is very bad. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Trying to slow peek is a pretty bad option, as it does leave you completely exposed because your gun is visible for a few moments, and that means that they will be able to spot you. Is Rosie trying to go for another stealth cap? I swear to God, he loves his caps. He is quietly creeping his way up. Is rushing for it. Does get spotted. Does get taken out. Is punished, and you know, it is a 1v5. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I'm pretty sure we can all decide who's gonna win this round. Mighty Mike is having some headset, or is readjusting his headset currently.
Yeah, we can quickly see that gun that's on his back. You know, he has the MK18 with a underslung grenade launcher. Now that thing is absolutely lethal, but he has fired it already. You know, the downside to having that gun is that once you've fired the grenade or the smoke that you have, it becomes really hard to control in terms of recoil. So we'll see if Mike can pull off a 1v5. He does have Rossi to give away some positions. Yeah, Rossi's down. But he did give him some callouts before he died. Mike gets shots fired at him, but he just misses them like the Matrix.
Oh, the TK onto
Team
Tefo and Kuk. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Mighty Mike is playing with death by himself. He is running across. Does get shot. Yeah, again. He's just unkillable.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well here. He's got body armor premium for sure.
Is going for another run. If he makes this, I will lose my mind. He is going for it, but no, does get taken out.
Heartbreaking defeat for access denied. That is not how I expected this to go when we've seen access denied, you know, 3-1 up. That is absolutely devastating for them, but Phantoms were an exceptional opponent to go against tonight. They were really, really good on those attacks and even better on those defenses. However, access denied were able to cap quite a few times, especially in the first map. Both of their points, all of their points coming from mid-cap. Overall, you know, this was a close game. 2 4-3s and 1 4-0. Phantoms very clearly strong on that pick that they chose, Suburbia. But you know, that was a very, very good cast. I'll let you finish it off then.
Thank you. But yeah, that is heartbreaking. Like many other people, I honestly thought that Access Denied was going to get it. You know, 4-3, you know, 0-4 wasn't probably the best score they were hoping for on Suburbia, but you know, to be in a 3-0 position for so long and just to lose it that way, it must hurt. It is going to hurt, but you know, that is just something how it is, and it is going to be a Phantoms win for this evening, as they have won the last 2 maps, of course. But yeah, so that is a defeat and a victory, depending on how you're looking at it, and this was not how I expected this match for this evening to go. Sorry of course for any technical issues which we did occur during the cast. I'm not particularly sure to why things happen occasionally. You know, it's a certain level of, you know, it happens occasionally. You have to just kind of accept it's going to happen, but we tried our best to try to go through it no matter what happened. But of course, we do appreciate everybody who did come in this evening, did enjoy the bit of the show, enjoyed the cast. Appreciate it all. To thank you everyone in the chat who's interacting and of course using all the predictions. It has been a pleasure. This has been me and Delamiro out in VRML 1 for this evening. Adios amigos. See you all next time.